you guys have had some time to play outside because it is totally gorgeous out. So today for math, we're going to go ahead and we're going to review our different strategies. So if you want to write this down, you can. And remember, if you have to, you can pause the video and just kind of jump in like as you see fit. So you're going to want to grab your notebook, your paper, and a coin jar as well because we're going to need that later. In our lesson, we're going to kind of review like what we did on Monday. So throughout this whole unit in this process, we have realized that we have lots of different strategies. I wrote them down because there are some 5 of them that I want you guys to remember. So remember, the first strategy you can always count on when you are adding, or you can count all of them instead of like starting, like let's say if it was 5 plus 3, instead of starting at 5 and then adding on your 3, you could just go from the very beginning of 5, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that kind of thing. You count all of them, count on. You can make a 10. So for instance, if you are doing, let's say, 8 plus 2, you know that 8 plus 2 equals your 10. So that's one of your strategies. So count all, count on, make a 10. We could use your doubles fact. So let's say we have 7 plus 6. You know that 6 plus 6 is 12, and then you would add one more on and get your 13. There's that strategy. Or you can use a helper problem. So for example, if you're adding 15 plus 3, you can break down your 15 into 10 and 5, add 5 plus 3 first and get 8, and then tack it back onto the 10 to get 18. So we do have a few different strategies that we have been learning throughout this whole math topic and unit. So for fluency today, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to say some problems, and I want you guys to write it down and try to be mindful of what strategy you're using, so we can like kind of discuss that and just kind of be, like I said, mindful of what strategy you're using and what strategy works best for your brain. So the first number, or equation I should say, I want you to write down is 9 plus 2. Your next one is 8 plus 2. 3 plus 9. 5 plus 6. 7 plus 6. 4 plus 6. Your next one should be 15 plus 1. 16 plus 3. 13 plus 4. Okay, I want you guys to go ahead, if you have to, obviously pause the video, solve your equations, and maybe just make a little note underneath each equation of what strategy you used to solve and which one worked best for you. There is no right or wrong way to go about this. So I'm going to go ahead and solve really quickly and make note of what strategy I like, and that way when we come back together in a few minutes here, we can kind of like share some ideas, or you can see how I do it and maybe see if it works better for you that way. Okay, so go ahead and pause and then solve, and we will come back together in a few minutes. Alright guys, so let's come back together. So let's go over, so 9 plus 2, so that equals 11, you are correct. And in my brain, I decided to make a 10 first, so I did 9 plus 1 equals 10, and then my one more became 11. Next, I have 8 plus 2, and that equals 10. And as well for that strategy, I recognize that I made the 10 first. And then 3 plus 9. If you answered 12, you are correct. So for this one, I said that I made a 10. So again, it's all up to you and what your brain works and gels best with. Next, we have 5 plus 6, and that equals 11. And personally, I did the doubles fact. I knew 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 1 more, giving me 11. 7 plus 6 equals 13. And again, I used a doubles fact, knowing that 6 plus 6 is 12, and then tacking on 1 more, making it 13. 4 plus 6 equals 10. And for that one, it was the make 10 strategy for me. 15 plus 1 equals 16. And I just simply counted on 1 more. 16 plus 3 equals 19. And I used a helper problem. For that one, I knew that 6 plus 3 equals 9. And then I lumped it back together with the 10 to get 19. And last one, 13 plus 4 equals 17. And again, for that one, I used a helper problem. I knew 3 plus 4 equals 7. And then when I group back together with the 10, then you get 10 plus 7 equaling 17. All right, next, let's go ahead and do our application problem. So I'm going to read it twice, and then we will go ahead and dissect for the information. Anthony has 6 more red pencils than blue pencils. He has 8 blue pencils. How many red pencils does he have? All right, I'm going to read that one more time. Anthony has 6 more red pencils than blue pencils. He has 8 blue pencils. How many red pencils does he have? Okay, I just realized my pencil matches my shirt. I'm very purple today. Anyway, sorry. So we know off the bat that he has a set of 8 blue pencils and he has 6 more red pencils. So in your brain, automatically, it should be firing off, telling us that that more is telling us that we're adding the two numbers together. So your equation should read 8 plus 6 equals a mystery box. And then we're going to do our tape diagram, comparing things. So what I did, I don't know if you guys can see this. So I marked it as blue, and I put 8, because we already know he has 8 blue pencils. And then for red, I put an R next to it, and I know that there's the 8 plus 6. So that's why I have 2 parts to the second one. And I put a mystery question mark because we don't know how many he has. So let's go ahead and solve. And remember, we have a lot of different strategies that we can use. But I think for my own brain, I like to get myself to the 10, like I said, and then go from there. So I know, like, let's break down our 6. We know 8 plus what number, think in your head, gives you 10. And we know 8 plus 2 equals 10, leaving 4 more left. So then 10 plus 4 equals 14. And if you have to, you can always, like what I like to do when I'm taking a test or an exam or a quiz or anything, if you have time, which you should have time, you're going to like go back and double check, maybe use a different strategy. So let's just double check in our head. If we wanted to do a doubles fact, we know 6 plus 6 is 12, and then we have to add on 2 more, and that's still 14. So our final solution sentence is going to be, he has, or you could write Anthony has, whatever, he has 14 red pencils. Okay, and now next for this next little bit, and I'll show you, sorry, my final solution. So you see we have our equations, final solution, model. So next you're going to go ahead and grab your little jar of coins. You're going to need some quarters, pennies, dimes, and nickels. Sorry guys, I'm going to scroll down on my computer to make sure I'm getting all of this. Okay, so let's just like review, because there are a few different coins and when we're first learning, you know, it's good to review our vocabulary. So remember, our small copper one is a penny and it is worth 1 cent. And then next we have kind of thicker, and this is it upside down? Oops. Here you go. And this is a nickel, and this is worth 5 cents. That is not what I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. Next, we have this little guy. and this is a dime, which is worth 10 cents. And then up next, this big one is a quarter, and it is worth 25 cents. So if you ask yourself, what are some different ways to make those? So if I had 5 pennies, that would equal 1 dime. Or if I had, let's see here, if I have 2 nickels, that would equal 1 dime, because we have 5 plus 5, and that equals 10, which is a dime. And if I wanted to make 25 cents, and I didn't have a quarter, you could do 25 pennies, you could do 5. If you wanted to, you could do 2 dimes, 10, 20, and then a nickel, and that would equal 25 cents. Or if you're counting by fives, count with me, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, you could have 5 nickels, and that would equal 25 cents. All right, and then let's go ahead. You know that $1 equals 100 cents. So you could have 100 pennies, or you could, let's count by 10 and see how many dimes we would need. We could have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. You could have 10 dimes, and that would equal $1. Or, if you know you need 10 dimes, then you know you need 25-cent nickels to equal 100. And then, if you have quarters, counting by 25, so 25, 50, 75, 100, you would only need 4 quarters to equal $1. Let's see what else we've got here, you guys. Just want to make sure I'm hitting on all the points here. Okay, so I think that's all. I think we've got it all. If you guys have any questions, obviously please leave it in the comments section below. I hope you guys are finding these videos helpful. And oh, shout out, I saw the Hyde Park video with the students thanking the teachers and staff, and I thought it was so cute and such a thoughtful way, and I do miss you guys dearly. And yeah, if we don't see each other, I hope you guys have a wonderful summer. But anyway, you'll still actually see me throughout the rest of yeah. So, all right, bye guys. See ya.